Okay, DIY in 4D, DIY 4 a.m. life. This is Ryan. Good morning to you. And so last week we were battling with COVID, and so we missed the 135 title episode, which we're uploading now, and we'll go into that. And then this week's 4 a.m. life is about COVID to give a little update on that. So the 135, it's a little secret that is something that I wish I would have discovered back when I was 18. But when you're young and you make mistakes, it sometimes takes a while before you can become, wise. Wise is having good knowledge over time, lessons in life. And so 135 is a little nugget scripture in Proverbs about year one, year three, and year five. And how it carries over in a reduced version is really your day as well, or your week. You're planning 1 day, 3 day, 5 day out type planning. And so the summary of it is the examples in a vineyard. When you plant a vineyard, it takes, let's say, a year where you plant a whole vineyard, you got it all set up, and it's starting to grow. By the end of the third year, you've actually have production. And in production, that means that you actually have a harvest. So at the end of the third year, you would have product. You'd have grapes. And then at the end of the fifth year, your grapes were mature. And then that's the stage where the actual vine is now in maturity and in production. And you're getting the most, at what you planted. And it'll continue to grow a little bit. But that's really the example of how you'd be planning out your livelihood. Your livelihood would take 5 years for it to be in real production, so that every harvest you would end up having something to sell, something to live off of. And that was the wise outlook on life, that you were continually striving and working for that fifth year of production. And then at the end of the fifth year, you had saved enough money to maybe buy another plot of land and start over. And so you'd still have your let's say 5 acres, and at the end of the fifth year you have quite a bit, and then you'd start over. At the end of 10 years, you'd have 2 full 5 acres of production of grapes. And so that is accumulating wealth, and it's never a short term or a short thing. It's always a long term planning. And so that was the wisdom behind it, that if you didn't look around, you weren't bothered by anything that's going on around you, other than possibly the weather and stuff like that as a farmer, you would be accumulating wealth, and you'd be living quite well, and you'd be in shape by tilling that land. And so that carries over. And that 135 is a golden nugget secret in life, that if you stay focused on one day you're planning for the 3 days, and the fifth day, that your goals and your life and your cycle is in production, and you're always just really tuned in on what's going on that way. So you do it for days and you do it for years, and you're not bothered by what's going on around you, even though you do have to tune in and you do have to know the times and seasons that you're dealing with, so that you are keen to those types of contractions. But you're not bothered by them, because you have your own goals and visions. And in this particular channel, this was all about turning a resolution into a goal, which turns into a summit, into something that was a victorious thing that you accomplished, so that you can add one more to your quiver for the year, something to talk about at the end of the year, where you're proud. You can hang your hat and say, okay, I accomplished these things, and now let's start over. Okay, so I hope 135, it's in the book of Proverbs, and it's laced with a 135 pattern, and so you'll find that there. So I hope that was helpful for you, and so take care, be safe out there. God bless. God bless.